Japan is a country like no other. Tucked away in the eastern edge of Asia, it stretches across more than 6,800 islands in the Pacific Ocean, forming a long and narrow archipelago. The four largest islands, Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, make up the majority of the land area and population. Though relatively small in size, Japan holds a massive presence in the world in terms of culture, technology, and economy. One of the first things that captivate people about Japan is its breathtaking nature. Nearly 70% of the country is covered in forests and mountains, with landscapes that shift dramatically from north to south. There's the snow-covered beauty of the Japanese Alps, the volcanic ranges, and the coastal cliffs shaped by centuries of waves. And of course, there's Mount Fuji, the highest peak in Japan, an almost perfectly shaped volcano that has inspired generations of artists and poets. In the spring, the whole country transforms as cherry blossoms bloom in millions of trees, painting cities and villages in soft shades of pink. This brief, beautiful season is celebrated with hanami, flower viewing gatherings, where people come together under the trees to enjoy the fleeting beauty of nature. Japanese people are known for their discipline, punctuality, and attention to detail. These values are not just cultural ideals, they're visible in daily life. Trains arrive and depart with remarkable precision. Streets are clean, even in the busiest cities, and politeness is deeply ingrained in social interactions. At the same time, there is an extraordinary balance between order and creativity. Japan is both ancient and futuristic, a place where you can step out of a centuries-old temple and immediately find yourself facing a building covered in LED screens. Japan's ability to blend tradition with innovation is one of its most unique features. On one hand, it's the land of samurai, Zen philosophy, and centuries-old rituals. On the other, it's the birthplace of some of the world's most advanced technologies. Companies like Sony, Toyota, Panasonic, and Nintendo changed global industries. Japan was the first to introduce bullet trains, called Shinkansen, which reach speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour while being among the safest and most punctual in the world. Historically, Japan has experienced dramatic changes. It remained relatively isolated for centuries, with a strict feudal system under the rule of shoguns. But in the mid-19th century, it opened up to the world and began a rapid process of modernization. After World War II, Japan rose from devastation to become the world's second-largest economy in just a few decades. This transformation, known as the Japanese economic miracle, was driven by innovation, education, and strong social values. Japanese culture is deep and multifaceted. From traditional arts like tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and ikebana, flower arranging, to modern forms such as anime, manga, and video games, Japan has had a massive cultural influence around the globe. Cities like Tokyo and Kyoto embody this mix. Tokyo, the current capital, is a bustling, ultra-modern metropolis filled with high-tech attractions, entertainment districts, and non-stop activity. Yet even in Tokyo, quiet shrines and serene gardens can be found just minutes away from the busiest intersections. Kyoto, on the other hand, is a city that preserves the elegance of the past. Home to over 1,000 Buddhist temples, graceful geisha culture, and traditional wooden houses. Japanese food, like the culture itself, is rooted in balance and aesthetics. It's often simple but refined, with an emphasis on freshness and seasonal ingredients. Sushi, ramen, miso soup, and bento boxes are now popular worldwide, but in Japan, every region offers its own unique dishes. Meals are not just about eating, they're about presentation, hospitality, and harmony. Even convenience store food in Japan is often of surprisingly high quality, and presented with care. Everyday life in Japan is shaped by a deep respect for order, community, and cleanliness. For example, it's common for students to clean their own classrooms and for neighborhoods to organize regular street cleaning. In restaurants, customers rarely tip. The idea is that excellent service is a matter of pride, not extra reward. People bow when greeting each other, offer things with both hands, and rarely speak loudly in public spaces. These small but meaningful customs reflect an underlying philosophy that values harmony and consideration. Education is another cornerstone of Japanese society.